All right, Barlow Brigade. Old Big Jim coming at y'all from the international headquarters for everything Barlow. Well, it's Monday. I guess most of y'all know what that means. That's right, another booming edition of Modified Monday. I have two knives that I'm going to share with y'all. Both of them were restorations, to say the least. One of them took all week, and but it is I think it turned out well. It is what it is, and we'll get into that in a minute. Also today we're having an edition of Herd 'em Up. That's right, brought to you by HTEDC, outstanding gentleman from uh, Arkansas. He's a jovial fella that inspires me. Both of the gentlemen that are involved in today's show, along with my son, Zona, have all they inspire me to do what I do on almost a daily basis. Of course, there's nothing else I can say about Mr. Aaron Williams, who is A&W Custom Design. Hadn't heard a lot from him. We've messaged each other on Facebook a couple times, and but life happens. He's a young father with a young daughter, and so life happens. I understand. I hate to imagine where what I was doing and where I was at when my daughter was that age. And if you don't slow down and smell the roses, you won't be able to enjoy your children now, in the future, and later in life. So there's no problem with that. All right. First thing we're going to start with is the first knife that I did. I bought this off of Whatnot. I paid $8 for it, and this is a rabbit hole that I have promised myself that I would not go down. But I listened once again to Brother HT, and he set some barriers on these particular knives, and it's the most popular knife in the world. They make more knives hands down than anybody. I don't care if you're Case, I don't care if you're Rough Rider, I don't care who you are. There's no manufacturer that makes more pocket knives than Swiss Army. Okay, now this one came in, 3 blades would not open, not at all. You can see the covers are kind of scratched up there. Now I put this through the spa treatment, gave it the full money. It's been polished. It looks way better than it did. But you'll notice there's no wine cork remover, or whatever they call it, corkscrew, on the back of this knife. I refuse to own one that has that. That's, I know the SAC Swiss Army knife traditionalists out there are going, well, what are you doing if you're stuck at a picnic? I'll just break the top off the bottle if I have to. I'm just not, a pocket knife ain't supposed to be. Now, if you're a waiter and you carry a waiter's tool, I understand that completely. That makes sense. But for a grown man to be walking around with a pocket knife with a corkscrew on it, it just don't make sense to me. That's my opinion. Please don't hate me for that. Okay, I know there are the SAC traditionalists out there. They're not going to agree with me, and I fully understand your thinking. I get it, okay? But I'm not going to carry one. Also, you'll notice that the ring that holds this to either a dangler or a clip or whatever, I took the split ring off of it, and I didn't do it because I didn't want to. I didn't, like I said, I didn't want to make anybody mad. But as soon as I get a chance, I'm going out there to, my new toy is called the Birdie. And I'm gonna go out there to the Birdie, and I'm gonna put the 320 grit on that bad boy, and this little intrusion right here will be gone. Then I can put it in a pocket slip, and I can take it anywhere I want to. Toothpick is missing. Now I've tried to source a couple, but I ain't paying $9 for a toothpick. Uh, I found one place you can get them. I think you can get two for $7, and I may pull the trigger on that just so I'll have one. But I might also wait until I find one in a dumpster box somewhere that somebody just trying to get rid of them, pay $2-3 for it, and get me one like that. So also, this is a 83 millimeter. See, I don't. I mean, I know the metric system, but I'm just not. Versed good enough to call this knife, which is 3¼ inches long, 83 or 84 millimeters, or whatever they call it. Anyway, let's get the tang stamp in there. There's your Victoria Knox tang stamp. Beautiful little spear point braid. It was a little rough when I got it, but here's the deal. It's just fantastic snap on that son gun. Then over here we got the cap lifter, wire stripper, screwdriver, and I went too far, guys. See, I get confused on where I'm at on the dang knife. I'd have time, but anyway, got the good snap there. Over here you got your. Oh, wait a minute, I was backwards, but anyway, good snap. I guess that was the. Anyway, there's your little pin blade, just a cute little pin blade, but it's got the Swiss Army knife snap. Let me get back over here. This is the one that I think was the one. Yeah, this is your can opener. Little baby screwdriver, can opener. Cut your wine, the foil on your wine before you put your corkscrew in there. But anyway, Swiss Army knife. This is called the Officer Swiss. Now, I probably would own one if it had a Phillips screwdriver on the back of it. I know Brother HT, I think he's got the big one, the 93 millimeter or whatever it is, the 4¼ inch one, or 4 whatever inches it is. So I might get in there with that one. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to put a video up where I do a flyby on the next knife that I'm going to show y'all that I restored. When you see this fly, I'm gonna go from one end of the knife to the other end of the knife, and then I'm gonna turn it over and I'm gonna go back the other way. What you need to notice about this knife is the color. You need to notice the grind on the blade. You need to notice the shape of the blade. Now, the flyby that I'm going to show y'all has, this is after 3 complete spa treatments. That's soaking in dishwashing liquid in hot water. That's taking it out of there, scrubbing it with a nylon brush, scrubbing it with a briar brush, and then going into the mineral oil bath for over 24 hours. So keep that in mind and look at the condition of the knife that it was in after all of that. Okay? Okay, we're back. So let's go. We'll go around the ring here. First of all, dude wants me to make sure y'all know that he's glad y'all are here. He wants to welcome y'all and thank y'all. And this video is more or less him and his cousin, Yukon Cornelius, up in Arkansas, have been texting. Man, they sit up and text all night. And at one point, I heard him laughing about folding hunters or something to that. So he knew that I had been working on this knife all week. So I guess him and Yukon were chopping it up, and they just decided that what was going to happen today. So big shout out once again to Brother HT, Arizona EDC, and Mr. Aaron Williams. Okay, and of course Clark Kentucky Knives. Man, I watched a video yesterday. He made about an hour and 15-minute video. I watched the whole thing once, and then I watched it again because it's just that he brings the message, man. I don't know if it's the voice, I don't know what it is, and I'm gonna tell you this: his name, Dwayne. I'm gonna throw something at you in this little conversation here about that name, Dwayne. Anyway, I watched that video twice, and then I commented to him. His message at the end of it was something that he more or less was. He goes over the sermon that his preacher, pastor, puts out to him every week, and one of the things the guy said was, "Don't let the door close," or something to that effect. I believe it was in Matthew, and he said, when the door's open, when God opens the door and He allows people in, you should go in, and was basically his message. And but anyway, I commented and told Brother Dwayne how blessed we were as a knife community to have him and his ministry involved in that community. So, and then lo and behold, I get up this morning and Brother Dwayne Stanfield from Arkansas dropped a video about where he did well. I guess modified Monday. He was trying to get in there where he fit in there, and of course he's a piddler. He likes messing with stuff, and he modified the floral. He had actually it was a grafting knife that he had. It's a baby hawk bill, and he modified it, made it a straight blade knife. Of course, he probably knows, but Swiss Army knife makes a floral knife that is exactly what he made. So anyway, but the thing about the two Dwaynes was, Brother Dwayne was talking about when the door's open, you should go in, and Dwayne Stanfield's message was open the door so you can let the Lord in. So both Dwaynes brought a message about the door and letting the Lord into your life. And like I said, I'm not a big preacher, guys. I can't quote the verse and this and that and all that. I mean, I have 3 or 4 that I live by that I can quote to you pretty word for word. But I just thought that was an amazing fact that both the Dwaynes brought a message about a door. One, it means you walk through it when it opens. The other one was to open it and let it in. So there you go. So I prayed about it, and everything was good. All right, I know that the pocket dumps get kind of crazy sometimes, but let's go. I got brother, my son Zona's patch up there. This is the first slip he sent me, and it's had a constant companion ever since I got it. When I got this knife from Deep South Cutlery, I put it in this slip, and I got my arms extended, and I can't get there. It is. Moore Maker, 1303. Carbon steel, got it all tinered up, boy. This is a potato cutting, French fry making son of a gun right here. Not to mention, man, I hate to admit it, but a knife is a tool. I've opened boxes. I've probably tightened up the screw in my Zippo lighters with it. Large side buster, can't beat it. Can't beat it. I promise you. That's a get it. It's highly recommended. And my boy's owner is going to tell you that this is a Barlow Brigade banger. Coming in number 2, I got the old jackknife. Yep, equal end jacks. I love them. This is where I got little ones, I got big ones. Equal end jack. Good half stop. Big old sexy clip blade. But here, to me, this is the winner right here. Yes, sir. That pin blade is a bad boy. Matter of fact, I made a modification to the. Well, I'll tell y'all when I do it. I don't have a slip for this one yet. I'm looking for one. Looking to buy one. It needs to be a good one. I'm a big one. That's a in the herd 'em up world. That's a big one. All right, and coming in last in the Charlie Cook carbon slip. Got the Jesus fish on it, Charlie Cook. Now, guys, I'm gonna go over this knife for y'all one day. I don't know a lot about it yet, but this is a bone handle Bear & Son razor knife. Now, the reason I don't know a bunch about it was it came in a generic box. There's no markings. But look at that bone, guys. I mean, normally I get a white bone knife like this. I'm looking to jig it, or I'm looking to dye it. I'm looking to do something with it. But that son of a gun is beautiful, and I ain't done nothing to it. I ain't really rubbed it. I put it in that slip, and that son of a gun is just beautiful. Now, here's the backstory on this knife. I was down talking to preacher Billy Ray Bond at Deep South Cutlery, and I asked him about that particular knife because they ran a few of them recently on one of their auctions, and of course I bid and up to my limit and didn't win one. But so I asked him about it, and while we were talking, he walked over there and opened up their display case for Bear & Son and started digging through some boxes. And there was like 6 knives in a stack, and the first 5 were all the sheep put 4-inch Barlow knives that Bear & Son puts out in white bone. He gets down to the last box, he opens it up, and kaboom, there it was, the exact knife I asked him about. He gave me a price. I told him, put it in my pocket, or he put it in a box, I put it in my pocket, and when I got home, I looked at it, it was a generic box. And then I remembered the story. He was visiting with Brother Ken Griffey at Bear & Son, the owner of Bear & Son Cutlery in Alabama. And he said that he brought out a tray from underneath his office desk, and on that tray were he made it seem like it was 5 or 6 of them, and on that tray were these 5 or 6 razor Barlows, and he offered them to Preacher, and Preacher, Billy Ray, he bought them. So that's all I know about the knife. I don't have a part number. I don't know, I'm going to try to find out. If I have to, I'll email Bear & Son and see if I can get a clarification of some type on what the or maybe if I can get next time preacher talks to Mr. Griffey, maybe I can get some information that way. I just don't know, but hadn't had it long enough. I haven't cut anything with it. I can tell you what, it's hair popping sharp and right out of the box. And let me bring it right back in here. I don't know if it's a second. I just don't know. But if you look, see around this ring right here, they have a this pin. They have a hydraulic drill, for lack of a better word, and they cut the pins off, with it, leaving an extrusion, and then they set it in a device, and they run this hydraulic drill press down, and it vibrates, and it pushes those pins down and rounds them off and cleans them off, and then they do a final sanding before the knife is released. Well, see, so this may have been a second. I don't know that. I don't have a clue. But because of that little defect there, Baron Son kicked it back, maybe. I don't know. Like I say, I don't know the story on it, so I can't tell you. But anyway, I'm glad I got it. I don't know that there'll ever be another one anywhere. Well, I don't even know how to look for one because I don't have a number or anything. Okay, let's get on with the show, guys. And I know I've been teasing y'all the whole time about eye candy up there on the Deep South Animal. Yep, it says marbles and it says quality knives. Not gonna lie to y'all anymore. Y'all, I have a problem. My problem is marble knives. And I bought about 6 or 7 of them here in the last month and a half. This is a MR 183. I won this at auction on eBay, paid $23 plus shipping. So I got $25 maybe in the whole deal. Another one of those things where I bid up to my limit, which was $24, and somebody had already put in a bid higher than that, as the insurance bid. And so I just quit and, got out of the auction and walked away. And I was happy. 35, 40 minutes later, I get an email from the store owner, said the first buyer didn't pay, and I was the backup bidder, so I got it. Now, I don't have the sticker out here, but y'all know I am a member of the Orange Army. First of all, orange right there, box is orange. Now, y'all look at this bad boy. Lord have mercy. Lord, not Lord. I'm talking about LAWWD. Lord have mercy. I just can't tell you, man. If you're a folded hunter freak like me and have people watch my channel, listen. I don't know what to tell you guys. Just an absolutely, hollow ground clip point blade. Just, Lord have mercy. So it maybe some of y'all, and there's your Skinner blade. Look at that. Just look. Would you look at that? It's unbelievable. I know absolutely half stop. I know absolutely where Brother HT gets his happiness from. Let's see if we can get it in there too. Get that one more, but get that one more time. It's got a spring. Yep. That's what we're calling it today. We're calling it the eye candy. If I can get this thing together without cutting my end of my finger off, this thing going right here would do it. I'd have to stop the video. I ain't putting my finger in there. Having trouble, guys. There you go. Now, if I set it on them magnets, But there it is. That's not eye candy. I can't help you. Let me see. Let me adjust that for y'all. If that's not eye candy, I can't help you. All right. Y'all saw the little short the little clip I put in there. Well, here it is, guys. Old timer, 125 OT. All right. Now this sun gun was a basket. It was a dumpster fire. I think that's what I'm gonna call the video. A dumpster fire. This sun gun was bad shape. Now, I have done everything. Of course, I'm good. I'm pretty good at restoring knives, but I can't get that color back. I didn't really try, but y'all know the color of old timers. But I got her polished up. I got her. She's ready for Sunday dinner. Y'all look at the condition of the bolsters, man. They've been beat on. They've been kicked on. They've been used as a hammer. Look at the back spring. Look how somebody used this thing. Like I always say, man, if these old knives can talk. Look. I mean, the corrosion's not really that bad, but it looks like they use the thing for a hammer. And then, obviously, they use a cinder block to sharpen it. Okay. Now, when I got it, it had a point, but it wasn't a very refined point. Let's go ahead and get that stamp in there. Everybody can understand that's a Schrade USA 125 OT. All right, but the blade, like I say, it looked like it had been sharpened on a cinder block, and then somebody used look. See all this right here? This is done with a grinder or something. I don't know, but all I could do was polish it up. Now you'll notice when you looked at the flyby, there was a big dip in the blade right there. So all I could do was really file that down a little bit, and then I put a sharpening choil. Y'all see that sharpening choil? I put that in there. That relieved a little bit of the sway. It's still got a little bit right there, but and I got it pretty sharp. Now, I'm not gonna call it hair popping. I'm not gonna call it briar patch blade sharp, but what I am gonna call it is I gave this knife the dignity it deserves. I brought it back from where it was at. I made it a user. Yep, it's got a little blade wobble. Yep, it's got a little movement in the blade when it's in lock. Yep, it don't have no snap. But I can promise you one thing. This old fat boy put it in his pocket and carried it every day. Why? Hurt him up. That's right. I ain't scared. This is a back pocket all day long. And then, you can't, you can take your kids and dress them up and take them to church and all that. But, till you get the shoes on them, your kids, they ain't quite right. So I put some shoes on this one. Tied me a little lanyard, stepped up my lanyard game a little bit. Got the natural leather, string there. Got some little beads, sexy beads. And these are snake knots. I tied a snake knot, put a bead, tied a snake knot, put a bead, tied a snake knot, cut it off down there. So, what do y'all think, guys? I'm not asking you, I wasn't asking I knew this was not going to be any kind of a perfect restoration. But I did know that it was going to turn out way better than it was when I got it. Let me get this old thing out of the way, put this up here, get it up forefront. There she is, guys. Get the cameo view of it right there. There you go, guys. I love it. I absolutely love it. It'll go right in there in my Big 'Un box, which I renamed from Folding Hunters to Big 'Uns. The big box is getting full. I'm going to do a video on my all the marble knives that I bought. Probably do that. If I don't do it day after tomorrow, I'll do it next Wednesday for my Barlow. I haven't done a Barlow Brigade bangers in a while, but whenever I do the marbles thing, there's some bangers in there. I'm heavily influenced by HT and A-Dub. He's a big folding hunter guy. Y'all see that queen he did? He put the Kentucky shield in honor of Dwayne Clark. That's stunning, just unbelievably stunning work. All right, guys. Old Big Jim's gonna get out of here. I think I'm gonna ride down to the knife shop, see what they gotta give them a little money, tell them I love them and all that. So I'm gonna get out of here for today, guys. Rule number 9.